I am Simone Cumbie Johnson, the founder of Daughters to Destiny. And just to share a little bit about Daughters to Destiny so Miss Monique and the viewers can know, it's a nonprofit organization bringing women together. Our mission is to strive towards success. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to bring a platform where I always say that women, all us can shine and be the queens that we're destined to be in our area. I don't have to be
Absolutely.
jealous at the next person because they're shining, but I can support her, I can love on her, I can encourage her, and that doesn't dim my lights. So I feel
Right.
like women, we have a hard time coming together. And I just want to create a platform where we're in unity, where we're uplifting, where we're helping each other strive towards success. So that's
Absolutely.
what Daughters to Destiny is about. And I wanted to bring you on because you inspire me in so many ways. I've told you how you inspired me to go forward with the podcast. You
Mm-hmm.
have inspired me as far as business and a different outlook and perspective. So I want to bring you on just to discuss the question, can women have it all? Because this is a big debate within women in the
Yeah.
world.
So yeah, no, and I agree. It is a big debate, but I think that it starts with what do you want as a woman? Like you have to address what it is that you want. And I do feel that number one, once you address what you want, letting God know what I mean, He knows our heart, but I do believe in speaking it into existence, telling God what your needs are, what your wants are, even though He knows, but He still wants us to come to Him. He still wants us to submit. And when we submit and when we come to Him, it shows that we're trusting Him to take over our lives and we're trusting Him to take the wheel and to give us the desires of our heart. So if that is what you want, if you are a woman that wants it all, you have to let God know, like, Lord, help me find that husband. Make me a better person so I can be a good wife. Make me a good person so I can be a good mom. Make me a better person so I can be a good CEO. We all have to start. First, it starts within ourselves. And once we do a self evaluation of ourselves and determine what it is that we want, okay, now how can I be this person so I can be the best at whatever it is that I need to be and the things that I'm seeking for, which is being a mom, a wife, being an entrepreneur. So for me, I didn't know that at the beginning. I've learned that, over the course of, me being a mom, a wife, a business owner. That hasn't always been my mindset. I had my daughter when I was 22. So, I mean, I was young. But I always knew that I wanted to be a mom. I always knew that I wanted to be married. And I always knew that I wanted to one day own my business. I didn't know how I was going to achieve those things. I just knew that I wanted it and I wanted it, deep down within my soul. So everything that I did to get what I wanted in my life. And that was to, be a mom, a wife, an entrepreneur, and to basically have it all. And I think that we also need to not get confused with the perception of what having it all looks like,
Right.
because it's so easy to get caught up on reality TV, on Instagram, and you see things and you're like, oh, they seem like the perfect marriage. And a lot of people do me like that. They're like, oh, you guys are goals. I want to be just like, no, you don't want to be just like us because you don't know what we went through. Every marriage goes through ups and downs. There's no perfect marriage. And I don't try to make it seem like me and my husband are perfect. I have done lives and people can clearly see that on my lives that he'll get on my nerves. So, that's just reality and that's life. So whatever your goals is, it should be what you want and not necessarily looking at someone else saying that you want that they're your goals because you don't know what it took for them to get to that point in their lives. So it's I just want to stress the importance of not getting confused by the perception on social media and thinking that this is what having it all looks like, because everyone's having it all is different.
Right, right. And I like how you focus in on one of the things that really draw me in is because in all the interviews I did my research and just
Hmm.
about any interview that you did or like you went on a talk show, you always enforce your faith. It wasn't something that you put on the back burner. It wasn't something that you was afraid to express or hide like God is the head. God, if it wasn't for
Mhm.
God, your Mielle Organics wouldn't have made it. Like, I really love how you drive God and not shun away from it, because some people hide from their faith, or like, not as vocal about it. And I love that, because Daughters to Destiny, the reason why I called it Daughters to Destiny is, in life, I'm realizing you can have a plan and a goal for your life, and it may be completely different for what God has for your life. And I feel like
Right.
when you talk about destiny, that is focused on the God-given purpose that he placed inside you, even in your mother's womb. So
Hmm.
I like how you never turn away from your faith. Like, that is the focus. You make sure you drive that home when you have conversations, when you do live, when you go on television, whether you talking to millions or whether you're talking to a few on your live. And I really love that, because it's important to have a relationship with God. Like, nothing could be done without him, and he guides us and he leads us on in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the thing is, like, I tell people all the time, like, why would I be ashamed of who brought me through a very dark place in my life? Why would I be ashamed to give credit to the spirit that has blessed my company, triple fold. I know, because the thing is, like, I know myself obviously better than anyone else, and I know where I was. I know what place I was in 5, 6 years ago. Like, I knew what my relationship with God was like 5, 6 years ago. There was no relationship. I knew there was a God. I called myself praying. At least that's what I thought I was doing, but I didn't really necessarily have a prayer life. So I just the evolution of like how my mindset has shifted and changed. Like, I know that wasn't my own strength that I could have done that. Like, it's no way that I was capable of doing that. Like, it took a whole lot of work, and I'm still a work in progress. Like, God continues to work on me every day. Every time I get a negative comment, or you get the Instagram trolls, my flesh wants to go back to the old Monique, and like, we could go argue, we can go toe to toe if you really want to, but
We be
but
sensitive, but our babies,
yeah,
our businesses.
right. But I every time, and I get a troll that comes on my page, and I reply back with the "I love you," and you know what, God bless you. I know that's God, because that ain't me.
Right. Right, absolutely. I like how you said that, because even now with my organization, like, that's my baby. You put your hard work into stuff that you love. So it's kind of like, I understand when you say it's kind of like that's a sensitive place. Like, don't come for
Yeah,
my business. Don't come for my
right.
baby. Like, so
But
I like
but
how
the
you
thing
say
is,
that.
in business, it happens. So I've learned also, and this takes the mindset shift, that you're not going to please everybody. No matter if you please 10 people, you're going to have one person that ain't going to like you. And you got to be okay with that. So
Mhm.
again, I've learned to be okay with that. But again, that's God working through me, because like, again, I would be the one to like want to go toe to toe, but it's like, why even waste my energy?
And they don't even know you. Most of the people that's on there
Yeah.
don't even personally know you. Like,
Yeah. And then they're home miserable. So like, why?
right. You also pointed out, so faith is a big factor. You married your high school sweetheart. How long have you guys been married?
So we've been married 10 years. I got married at 26. We
Okay.
have been together since I was 16, and I've known him since I was 12.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That
why
is that is
that's why it's okay for him to work my nerve. That's why, because we've like grown
right.
up together.
Right. My husband and I have been married. This year make it 8. I've known him since I've been in 8th grade, and
Uh-huh.
we got married in 2012. So when you speak on your faith and your marriage, how do you set aside time to focus on your marriage, because you guys are working on Mielle together as well. So how do
Hmm.
you separate business and dedicate time to your marriage, where it's just you and him, versus you know working all on Mielle and everything that goes on with running a multi-million dollar company?
Yeah, so it takes for both of us to be intentional about each other, and being intentional to make sure that we spend time with each other. So even during like quarantine, and it's more difficult, obviously, because we're stuck in a house and we're working and we're, being parents and doing all the things that we normally would do. So now it's like we really have to be intentional about spending time together. And the great thing about my husband and I is that, we're married, but we're also friends. Like he's my best friend. So if I have an issue, like I have no problem with communicating and telling him like, look, um, I need you to spend some time with me. Like I'm a little lonely over here. So, and then another thing that we do, like we both love music. So I'm sure like people have seen like our videos on social media. So my husband is always playing music in the house and I'm always dancing. Like I used to be a cheerleader. So like I cannot not dance when I hear music. So even though I'm not the best dancer, but I just like to move. So that's been our way of spending time with each other, like dancing with each other and having a date night, movie night at our house. So we've been intentional about still doing things together when things were, normal. And when things get back to normal, we also make it an intention to set a date night. When we travel, we mostly travel for business. We do take the time to travel for just us. We travel on our anniversary so we could just spend time with us because it's important for us to still just have that alone time. Outside of business and being parents, it's still important for me and my husband to still date each other because that's, you never want that spark, that flame to die down. So.
And at the end of the day, like you said, you guys are friends. Somebody on here asked, can you do a cheer routine? Okay.
Yeah.
I do see you live. I've been on every night watching the hairstyles, the
Uh-huh.
dancing. One night I was in here just dancing. My husband's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm at a party with Miss Monique. We living it up. I can't dance, I can't sing, but I'll be in here singing from the top of my lungs because music is therapy. I don't
Yeah,
get
it is.
into. I don't like too much rap and stuff, but them old school like SWV and
Yeah.
all
Oh,
them,
yeah.
like I'll sing my little heart
The
out.
90s was the best.
Yes.
Like, who want to argue? The 90s
Right.
was the best.
Listen, even some 80s, like I listen to Betty Wright and all them, like they call me an old soul because I'm only 28 and they call me an old soul. Like I'm,
Really? Oh, yeah,
yes,
you old soul. You
yes.
listen to that.
Like I can't get too much into the rap songs today. I'm old school. So that's all we grew up with was old school. So I put on the old school, little Michael Jackson and all that, and
Yeah.
we riding.
No, I feel you. Like I like old school. I love the 90s. That's my favorite. But I try to be well versed in everything because I have a 14-year-old. So I don't ever want her to think that mommy ain't hip because mommy is hip. Don't think you can get over on me because I know what's going on too. I know about
Yeah.
TikTok. I know I'm on Instagram. Like I'm staying hip to all this young stuff as well too. So
And that's what my next question is going to be because we're segueing into your kids. You have two beautiful girls, and you lost
thank
a
you.
son. That was your push and your motivation to start Mielle
Mhm.
Organics, correct? So you
Yeah.
have two beautiful girls. They are so pretty. They have pretty hair. I saw you
Thank
doing your
you.
youngest one on live, and you went on live one day when she kept coming back with her homework. I was cracking
Yeah.
up.
That Mackenzie.
So I wanted to know for me, I'm not at that age yet. I have a 2 year old and a 4 year well, a 5 year old. Um,
Oh.
two active boys. So if you need boys, you just come get them whenever you want to. Um, and so right now, being at home, a major thing is just keeping them busy. But right now, they don't have like much work. I make up work for them to do. I do like programs like ABC Mouse and stuff for them. But now you're the teacher, you're the mom. So how has that been for you during this time? The perfect illustration.
Yeah, yeah. So it has been definitely different because like I really respect and admire teachers so much more. And um, I would never deny if a teacher came home and said Mackenzie is not listening or she not doing because she is doing it with me. So I take my hat off to teachers. Mia is pretty independent. She's self-sufficient. So she is, getting up, doing her work, getting it done. And she's done by like 1 o'clock. So then she can do like her extracurricular things. Like I make her work out still because she runs track. So I make it, um, I make it my duty to make sure that she's still working out, she's still conditioning. She has found a new passion for like makeup and developing content on like Instagram. So you guys will see like her YouTube and her developing content. So she's found a passion in that. So I'm just encouraging that. I let her play on my makeup. And I'm just like, she's asking me questions on how to build her Instagram following. And I'm like, look, just be yourself, be authentic, do what you love and share it with the world. Always add value. So Mia is good. She's my laid back child, and she does what she's supposed to do. Mackenzie, she's the youngest, and she's spoiled. So we are working on breaking that. And she is the child that is more like she's very headstrong. She wants to do things how she wants to do things. She always has something to say every time you tell her. I mean, just this morning, I told her I wanted to check her schoolwork. We were checking it together, and I was like, okay, now you get up and you go brush your teeth, take a shower, put on some clothes. And she was like, wait, I want to just put my name on my assignment. And I was like, no, like, go do what I told you to do first. And then when you get ready to do your work, you can put your name on your assignment and do your work all together. But she's always that, like, I need to do it my way. So that's why being a teacher has been a little different because, yeah, we go toe to toe. And the thing is, I don't know if you know this, but me and my kids, we all share the same birthday. So we're all the same sign. And Mackenzie is definitely me when I was younger. Like my mom tells me all the time, like, you had a bad habit of rolling your eyes. You always had something smart to say back. So I'm really just getting that in return because she's definitely like my child. And so that's why we always are battling because she's just like me. And so just learning like to navigate through her personality and making sure that she is still being responsible and getting her stuff done. So, each kid, you have to parent your child according to their personality. So I just parent her according to her personality, which means I stay on her a lot more with making sure that she's being responsible. So, yeah. And then I've also delegated her math to my husband. Like I told Melvin, I'm like, you have to help her with math. I'm not doing long division in fourth grade because the way they teach them, I don't even understand it. And I hate math. So you do that. So being okay with delegating and getting help when you need help. My mom will come over here and she'll ask them. My mom lives right down the street. So she'll ask if they can come over and spend the night. Go ahead. Take them with you. So, just, being adjusted to our new normal. And I was doing a live with Sarah Jakes earlier, and she talked about that as well. Like, we have to be okay with knowing that we can't do everything and knowing that it's okay to have help because you can't pour from an empty cup. And so I'm really big on that. I want to make sure that I'm sane and I'm whole so I can be a proper teacher, a parent, a wife, all of those things to all the people that need me.
And I like how you stated that. And I was on a live with Sarah. That blessed my heart. I love me some Sarah Jakes Roberts. Okay. So she was giving me life on y'all live.
Yeah, she was really good.
So you stated that each child is different and you have to parent each child different. I learned that the hard way. And you also stated how you have to give them time. Like when your mom asks, give them so you have, because you can't pour from empty cup. Well, my husband is military. So I had a newborn and he was deployed. And
oh, wow.
I was so used to trying to still continue my regular routine, like with my 5-year-old when he was younger at the end. And it wasn't easy for me to ask for help. So I ran myself ragged. I ran myself pretty much in the hole until I realized like I need to ask for help. Like I just need y'all could come get these kids. People used to ask, can you get the kids? I'm like, no, I'm all right. And then 5 minutes later, I'm crying because I can't do it all by myself. And my husband's like, why don't you ask for help? I'm not there. And at being with a military family, it's pretty much like that's your little family. Like me and my husband, we were, a family, a community. We move in different places. So it's different from us. But then there was people around us, like friends we met that was asking for help, and I would be like, no, until I run myself crazy. And you point out that's a great topic, because sometimes we feel that we can handle it all because we're moms, and it's okay to ask for help. We need the help. We can't do everything on our own, no matter how much superpower we got as a woman, no matter how much we try, because we cannot do this thing called life alone. That's why God placed people in our lives to help us, to push us, and to encourage us in
Hmm.
different areas, such as being a parent. And I know that you are a Libra. I didn't know your girl's birthday was the same day as yours. When is your birthday?
October 15th.
Okay, mine's October 3rd. So I know, yes, I know you was a Libra, and I was telling my husband I need to get on this retreat because it's the day of my birthday. Like, I'm trying to get some
Yes.
food. I'm losing this weight to be in a little nice bathing suit. I was just down there.
Listen,
I was telling him that, like, I'm
yes, you
so
need
excited.
to come. If y'all think that I'm live on my Instagram live, oh y'all just wait. Like I and then we've been cooped up in the house and
Right.
that's my birthday month. I am going and I don't drink, but I am going to get drunk off of life in Cancun. Listen, this will be a no judgment, okay?
Right. No judgment. Don't judge me. We all having fun. I think it's needed, and I'm glad that you
Yeah.
got it at that time, because I'm like, listen, I'm going. I'm saving
Hmm.
coins. Like, I'm going. I'm going as
Yeah.
I'm going. But one of the questions that related to your girls is, so you each one have a different personality. So how do you set time aside outside of business and everything that you have going on? Because I know you have a busy life. How do you set out time for your girls during the week, or do y'all take just girls trips and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How do you go about that?
So, we always take family trips. I have not taken a trip with just my girls by themselves. I do plan to do that when they, get older. Um, but I don't even know if my husband would feel real comfortable with me just leaving with. He'll probably like, no, I'm going. But so I haven't done that yet. But I make it my duty to spend quality time with them. We have our rides. I take them to school. I'm picking them up from school, and me and my husband, we rotate with that. Just being present. I'm always here for Mia. Like she'll come in my room and just sit and talk, and like we were just talking about like social media. So, and I'll go in their rooms and mess with them. Like I said, we're always dancing. They know their mom is crazy. We're doing TikToks together. So I make sure that I'm taking them to like the movies when the world was open, taking them to the movies, taking them on like our mini girl dates. So we do things like that. My kids are in activities. Mackenzie is in music class, so she does piano and she does singing lessons. So I make sure that I'm taking her there. Mia runs track, and I do not miss her meets. Like it has to be something really, really important that I can't miss in order for me to miss the meet. So I'm always present at her track meets. Like I am that mom that's screaming to the top of my lungs, like, go Mia, go Mia. So, and like, I just feel like even though she's so focused, like she still needs, because Melvin's always like, she can't hear you. And I'll ask her, I'm like, Mia, did you hear mommy screaming? And she was like, yeah, I heard you. So like that makes me feel
Oh,
special. So just being there and present, because I know when I was younger, my mom, she worked at a hospital, and she worked every weekend. I mean, every other weekend. And she wasn't able to come to like my cheerleading games. I also ran track. She wasn't able to come to a lot of my activities. And it was something that I yearned for as a child. So I made sure that when my kids have stuff, like I gotta be there.
right.
So it's just the small things that matter.
Okay. I like that. And for those who are starting out like me, um, I wanted to know, okay, so within 5 years, you went from your garage to a multi-million-dollar company. What are some advice for those starting out on how to create that long-lasting success? Because I know it wasn't overnight for you. I know it's not going to be an overnight process, and hard work and dedication. I know is a factor in your faith, but what advice would you give? How did you get from the garage to multi-million-dollar company?
Well, the quick answer is God. And
Mhm.
and I say that because, no matter how many business seminars you go to, no matter how many motivational speeches you watch, no matter how many online academies you attend, Like if you don't keep God at the center, and if you don't run your business on faith alone and wisdom, and asking him to bless you with wisdom, knowledge, discernment, and understanding, you get money for a little bit, you know, but the thing is it sustainable? Are you impacting lives? You know, for me, it's all about whose life am I helping to impact, and whose life am I changing in a positive way. So for me, it's all about kingdom building. And that's why I'm not ashamed of my faith and letting it be known, because I know that God blessed me with this platform, because he trusted me with it, and he trusted that I was going to do the right thing and let people know of his word and of his gospel. So, you know, that's the short answer. Like, you know, there are people that have businesses, there are people that are successful that don't represent God. But the thing is, we can't worry about that, because I don't know what God's plan is for them. But I know what I believe in and what God's word says, and I stand on his word. And number one, God gives us the power to get wealth, right? He says to pray for wisdom. He tells us to ask, believe, and receive. And that's exactly what I do. I ask for what I want. I believe that, and I'm going to receive it. And I have seen how he has worked so many miracles in my life. I have seen how he has put so many divine connections in my life, in my path, that I never would have imagined that I would have, you know, came across. So, you know, just trusting that, and trusting that he will supply all of our needs, and he's given me the tools and everything that I need to be successful. So it starts there first. And that's what creates sustainability. But from a business perspective, like, you know, people know I didn't have any business experience. I was a nurse for 8 years. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to brand. But what I did was I trusted God, and I asked God, how can I use my gifts to impact the world? And it started with hair products, because that's my passion. I had to go through a painful situation in order to understand my passion and to go back to my passion. And my passion led me to my purpose. My passion is beauty. I've always loved beauty, hair care products. I've always been into that. But that was just the stepping stone for me to get to my purpose. And my purpose is to inspire and to motivate women that look like me, that look, I came from nothing. And if I can step out on faith and accomplish my dreams, you can do it too. And it starts with there. You got to know your why, and you have to be able to solve a problem, and you have to be passionate, because you know, you don't make money right away as a business owner. It takes time. You have to build a brand. You have to continue pushing and striving every day. What I do is not easy by all means, but I love doing it. And the times that things get challenging, when you don't have money coming in, when you're trying to figure out how you're going to meet payroll, when you can't figure out how you're going to finance your next order, like, are you still going to get up and show up every day with passion and still continue to push the brand? Are you still going to show up at the trade shows and greet people and treat people nice and kind with the same respect? If you're not passionate about what you're doing, you're probably not going to do that. But I've been through dark times in my business where I still had to show up with a smile on my face, like nothing was wrong, and still be able to talk to people about hair care. And I did it with love, because to me, that was a distraction. If I was going through something, I can go back to talking about my passion, and that was hair care. And in the midst of that, I'm still helping and inspiring other women with whatever it is that they're going through. But in order to do that, you got to have a passion. So you must really be passionate about what you're doing, because it's not always as pretty as it looks on Instagram.
Yeah. And I do agree with that. And I tell people, when you're doing something from your heart and you're passionate about it, you can't stop it even if you wanted to. It's something that drives you, that keeps you going. It's something that's inside you to just keep you motivated. And it can get discouraging, because especially coming from a small town like mine, you lucky just to make it out. So I don't have no
Right.
business experience. I don't have nothing, but I have a heart to help people.
Yeah.
Always have, always will. I just like to naturally help people, and I think it's important for women to come together. But it's also hard, because I feel like it's in the business world, it's also hard to kick down some of the doors where people don't know you, or you trying to get your brand off the ground and be, and push forward. So how have that been for you? Was that tough to get your business into doors where it goes to the next level, or how has that been?
So I would say I would say it's kind of like a trick question. I would say no, it wasn't tough for me, only because I wasn't expecting it.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I would go to events, I had like zero expectations. And for me, I've learned that when you take your expectations off of things, of people, you won't be disappointed. So like even when I went into retail, I wasn't expecting to go into retail. I had on my business plan, on my vision board, that I was going to go into retail year 5 of being in business. Our 6-year anniversary is in May. So we've been in retail since 5 years ago, or no, I'm sorry, 4.5 years ago. So I wasn't expecting to get the call to go into retail how we did. Um, and it was just by like God's divine grace and the connections, and me just focusing on building my brand to so the saying is, if you build it, they will come. And I was just so focused and honed in on building something great and shining, and making sure that my brand was operating out of the spirit of excellence, that I was so focused on that, and allowing my gift and talents to make room for me, that doors were opening that I wasn't even expecting. So
Mhm.
that's why I would say it wasn't hard, because I wasn't expecting, Mielle to grow as fast as it did. I knew it would grow. I knew it would be a great company. I just wasn't expecting it to grow to the amounts that it did as fast. But I always pray that God blesses me exceedingly abundantly, more than I could ever think, ask, or imagine. So he has blessed Mielle beyond my expectations, because I just wanted to build a great brand. I wanted to deliver great products to people. I wanted to communicate and connect with women that look like me. So that's what I was so focused on. I wasn't focused on whether or not, if such and such is going to like me, or if I go into this room, am I going to fit into this crowd? Like, I don't care. I never cared about fitting in with people. I always walked to the beat of my own drum. Even when I was like in high school, and I tell this to my daughter, I have friends from all walks of life. I had the educated friends. I have friends that smoke weed. I have friends that, were with like the dope boy. Like, I've had friends from all walks of life. I never fit in, and I was never forced to fit in with a certain crowd, because people always knew that, well, Monique, she gonna do what she want to do. And that's why I said Mackenzie, she's just like me. She's gonna walk to the beat of her own drum. So I've just never had those expectations. It's like, I'm just gonna operate my authentic self, and who likes it, and who don't, they just don't.
Right, right. And I was also listening to an episode on your podcast where you was discussing being an introvert, because
Hmm.
that's how I am. Like, I love to stay to myself. I love to stay at home. I'm a homebody. Even now, like being at home does not bother me.
Yeah.
Like I just naturally love to be at home. This is my comfort space. I go out every now and then, but naturally I just like to stay at home. And I feel like when you run a business, it pushes you, it's pushing me a little out of my comfort zone, because I have to get used to doing lives like this. Like, this is new for me. I have to get used to, walking up and talking to people, because usually I'll just sit in a room and, like, if you don't talk to me, I'm fine. Like,
Hmm.
like I have to push myself to put myself out there more. Even when, starting off, I was like, I'm doing it from my heart. If people like it, people like it. If they don't, they don't. Like, I ain't gonna beg them. And I had to change my perspective. It's not begging them, it's just to help somebody else. And if that's my passion, if that's my goal, then I have to put it out there, because they ain't gonna come falling down from the
Right.
sky. I gotta push past my comfort zone a little to do what I know that God has called me to do, which is a part of my destiny. So listening to that podcast, if y'all haven't checked her podcast out, y'all check it out. It's the Secret Sauce podcast on
Yes.
iTunes.
Thank you.
And she has some great content on there that really helped me, especially being an introvert. And I try to tune in every week, because you be dropping some life skills, Miss Monique, that
Thank
I
you.
love, coming from, with no background and stuff like that. It really helps. It really helps. And I love that you're humble. I love that, even you taking the time out for me, because truth be told, you didn't have to do this. You did this out the kindness of your heart. And to give me a chance to speak with me on my organization and my
No
platform. And
problem.
I truly appreciate you doing this for me. I truly admire you. You inspire me, especially with my organization. and trying to, can women have it all? You have to define what all having it all looks like. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm an army wife, but it's also something greater that God has placed in me, like daughters to destiny, and my drive
Yeah.
and my commitment. So my having it all looks different than yours or somebody else one. So
Right,
I
right.
just I just truly appreciate you coming on. You guys, her retreat, the secret sauce retreat, y'all go, as limited spots. Don't take my spot because I'm coming for the retreat next week. But y'all come on. Y'all come
Yeah,
on. Y'all
no
register
problem.
for the
And I
retreat.
just want to tell you, like, just stay consistent in everything that you're doing. And when you talked about, yes, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Like, I totally understand. And, I've said this 1,000 times too. Like, I am an introverted person. Being at home doesn't bother me, but I'm a friendly introvert, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And I've had to learn to overcome a lot and get out of my own way. So if you do things with good intentions and you go into things with the servant mentality and knowing that your duty on this earth is to serve others and that it ain't about you, that's how you learn to get out of your own way. And that's what I had to learn, because I would go to an event and not talk to people and just sit there and observe the room. Like, that would be me. But I had to learn that, well, if you don't talk about your business, then who else gonna do it?
Right.
So I've had to not be afraid to be the first person to say something, because I would usually wait for people to say something to me. And then, I'm really good in like one-on-one settings, and, we can have a really great conversation. But I had to learn that, look, you want to impact lives. This is what I've called you to do, but you're not going to do what I've called you to do if you don't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
So so I've learned to, get out of my own way, and I've come, I feel like, a very, very far than what I used to be. For those of you who know, like, my husband, he is very outgoing. He's more gregarious, but
Mine too.
I've been the one that'll sit back and just, I'll try to like observe and feel you out
Yep.
first, and
Yep.
then I'll open up.
Yep. That's
But
me.
I've learned to not be so guarded, and just to, just see how things, do something that I'm not used to doing,
Right.
and just see how things flow. So,
Yeah, I
you
like
know,
how you say get out your own head, because that's
mhm,
that's literally like what goes on in my head, like playing scenarios and stuff like that. And I constantly remind myself, even with doing stuff like the podcast, me pushing myself, it's not about me. And I have to remind myself every time I do something for the organization, or every time I do it, because I'm so fearful, like I'm scared, and I'm like, Lord, it's not about me. Take away the fears,
yeah,
take away the anxiety, decrease all of Simone and increase all of you. And then he takes the wheel, and he's giving me the drive to go on, because if I do it in my own mind, I am afraid. I'm
yeah,
afraid to get on lives. I'm afraid to be in a room full of people. Even with the retreat, that's something different for me, because again, I just like stay to myself, and stuff
yeah,
like that. So I'm pushing myself, and like you say, get out your own head. Know that it's a greater purpose. It's greater than you. A
yeah,
female need to hear the advice that you're saying. A female, God designate people to you for a purpose, and I have something that someone else needs, and I need to be the one to speak up, and I need to be the one to extend a hand, and I need to be the one to say, you want me to pray for you, you want me to encourage you, I got your back, because not a
hmm,
lot of times you don't have that. So I feel like that's important. I like that you said get out your own head, push past your comfort zone, because that's important when you're trying to conduct a business.
yeah. And I wanted to just clarify too. I think somebody mentioned about being shy. I think they said their husband is a social butterfly, but they're shy. So, and I was gonna ask you too. So, being an introvert, I think people like get them confused with being shy and being introverted. I'm not shy.
I'm not shy.
Um, oh, I was gonna ask you, are
Yeah,
you a
no.
shy? Because
Once
there's,
I get to know you and I open
yeah,
up, like we gonna party, we gonna laugh, we gonna have a good time. But
yeah.
it's just the point of getting there. Like
Correct, right. Yeah. No, I
yeah,
was just wondering if you were, because there are people that are shy introverts, and then you just have introverts. Because I'm the same way. Like, when I'm around my people, my friends that I'm comfortable with, I'm like the life of the party,
yeah,
because I love to have fun.
right,
But so I'm definitely not a shy introvert. I just like, peace and, sitting at home looking out the window, reading the book, and quiet. So
Right. Right. I love to read. I love to read, so I've been following your books too. But
yeah, yep.
yeah. Someone asked me, I have the accent where I'm from. Y'all from South Carolina. A
Oh, are
small
you?
town, yeah, called Georgetown. It's like 30 minutes away from Myrtle Beach. Everyone knows what Myrtle Beach is, but they don't know what the small town Georgetown is. Are you familiar with Myrtle Beach?
Yes, and
Okay.
I kept trying to listen to you because I also it's a weird obsession of mine that I like to figure out people's accents. And I was sitting here really trying to like figure out what your accent was, and I couldn't. So that's why I was like, really? Because I think I was way off. But
Yeah,
okay.
yes, I'm from South Carolina, you guys. Small, our small town, Georgetown, South Carolina. Come to Myrtle Beach. But right now, because my husband's in the military, we're stationed at Fort Bennett. So we're in Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah, me and him is from the same place. We was like 10 minutes down the street. So yeah, so we've been that's my rock. We've been going at it. But
Well,
yeah, I'm
tell
from
your husband thank you for his service.
yes, thank you so much. I'm from South Carolina, you guys. Uh, and do any of y'all have any questions for Miss Monique, or y'all have questions about Daughters to Destiny that I can answer? Miss Monique, you have any questions for me or anything else you want to add?
No, I would just tell you to keep pushing, to keep pursuing your passion. I think you are doing great. This was a great interview. You did an amazing job.
Oh,
So
thank
just keep
you.
up
Don't
the
make
good
me
work and
cry.
no. And just keep reaching out to people because you may get a lot of no's, but you may get that one yes that you'll be surprised like, oh my God, like she said yes. So, just keep being persistent, keep reaching out to people, keep trying to grow your platform by collaboration, making sure that your messaging is clear and your branding is on point and you're being consistent in your efforts and everything that you do because consistency and discipline is key to building a successful brand. You can't be posting like one day here for on Tuesday and then we don't hear from you until like a month later. You got to be consistent and disciplined with your content and remember your why and always go into things and asking yourself, how can I improve someone's life today? How can I make someone's life better today? And so, especially now during this quarantine, because I've been really like, you know, getting into my word more and reading my devotionals. And I talked about this earlier as well. Like, all of my devotionals have been about giving, giving, giving. And I'm like, God is speaking to me. And it's like, okay, God, what can I do today to make someone's life better? So I'm just committed to just being obedient to what God has called me to do. And I encourage you to do the same thing.
Right. And I saw that on your lives, you give, and and you can tell it's from a genuine place. You can tell this from a sincere heart because you don't have to do that. You and your husband did it. And I saw your husband say increase. I was like, preach. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so good to have, people of influence like you and your husband that's helping people because I saw one girl that was literally in tears when you gave a gift card and you don't know by you helping in the small gestures how much that impacts somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were speaking on um don't and I used you did a thrive in success and you have really hit home because you was like don't post the date and then they don't hear from you for another week and I was like dang I need to breathe. So set your thrive in success. Let me tell you, I've been posting every day. I
Good,
want to tell you,
good.
I'm taking down notes because I soak in the knowledge. Even after this, I'm going to go back and listen to our live to soak in the knowledge because you got to learn. And I like, and you said you're going to get a lot of no's. I do feel like I got a lot of no's. I get to the point where I take it personally and I have to pray and realize everybody know is not personal against me. I'm just going to keep thriving and God will open
Right.
the door. His word said, if you keep knocking, they'll answer. So I'm going to keep knocking on that door and it's going to open. The doors that's meant to be open is going to open and the doors that's meant to be closed is going to close and it's going to make you stronger. And for me it's more motivation because I don't like no. So when I get no, it drives something in me to keep on going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you telling me no, I'm not gonna be in the corner cry. I might cry, but I'm gonna dry my eyes, get
Right.
back up, and keep going even harder. So for me, it's like a motivation. So the yes that I get, I'm appreciative. Whether it's a celebrity, whether it's local, I just appreciate the doors that God's opening in the season. And someone got a question saying, "How did you get started with Mielle Organics?" That was one of the questions.
how did I get, okay. I wanted to just say, and to piggyback off of what you said first, always remember that one's rejection is God's way of protection. So
Oh,
that's
I
what
like
keeps
that.
me going when I get a no. So I started Mielle in 2014, after I lost my son. I was pregnant with my third child, and it was a very traumatic experience for me. I was 8 months pregnant, and I had a high risk pregnancy, and I had a uterine rupture, and unfortunately my son passed away. And that's when my whole world just flipped upside down. And I was working at that time as a home health nurse,
Mhm.
and not only was I miserable at my job, but nursing was not my passion. It was something that I went into because that's what my mom told me to do.
Mhm.
And it wasn't something that I was like, I have a burning desire to be a nurse. I love helping people. It just wasn't the nursing route that I wanted to do it. So, um, going through that experience, not liking my job, then having to go back to a job that I was miserable at, and also going through that situation, like, I didn't want to get in a state of depression, and I wanted to be able to pick myself up out of like what I was currently going through. I knew that I had to be sane for my daughters. I knew that I had to be a good wife, a good mom. And at that time, there was no one that could help me get through that situation. My mom couldn't help me get through it. My husband couldn't help me get through it. My kids couldn't help me get through it. The only person, or the only spirit that brought me through this, was God. So that's why I say I know, what I've been through and what I've gone through. So that's why I cannot not give credit to the one who's brought me through that. And I had a vision one day to start talking about hair care on social media. I had an Instagram account, and I probably had about 500 followers. And for me, talking about hair care was my passion, but it was an outlet to help me deal with what I was going through. In addition to me submitting myself to Christ and getting saved, it was like, okay, let me just talk about hair care. And I had heat damaged hair. I wanted my natural curls to come back, and I was trying to transition my hair, and I was sharing that journey on social media, and I was making my own products at home, which I went back to the other day with Mackenzie in the kitchen. But I was making different concoctions and experimenting and trying it in my hair. And that's when like it just clicked, and people started asking to buy the stuff that I was making. And I decided to, take it serious and know that that was a vision that came from God, because it was something that I was not expecting to do. I was just doing something that I love, and that door opened up for me to launch my own hair care line. And I started with one product and launched on May 23rd, 2014, and the rest is history.
That's great. Someone else said, "What did you use to push past? What did you do to push past your fears when first starting your business, Mielle Organics?"
Because what pushed me to push past my fears is knowing that I don't want to live a life of regret, and I rather succeed in my faith than fail in fear.
I
That's it,
like
right?
that.
Yes. So I rather just do it, and do it afraid. When I started, I'm not gonna say that I was never afraid. I'm even now, like, I just do it. I just go for it. And I just don't want to live my life with a what if. Like, if I did not start this brand, I would have still been working as a nurse, thinking, well, what if I would have did this? Like, what would have happened? So I don't want to live with what ifs. I just want to live by faith, and know that if and especially like if your vision comes from God, that he's going to bless you, and he's going to supply all of your needs. So you just have to do it, but do it afraid, and not care and worry about what other people think, because I've learned that a lot of people don't start things because they worry about what other people think, and they worry about being judged. But just know that those people that are judging you are probably sitting at home doing nothing,
Right.
and they'll laugh at you when you fail, and they'll laugh at you when you get up and you try it again, and they'll ask like, well, what you coming over here with now? Because people have done it to me. I would start things and fail at it, and pick something back up, and people will be like, well, what is it that you got going on now? And you got to push past that, and know that I'm still going to be consistent, and I'm still going to be persistent to accomplish my dreams, because I know that it's a dream that I have. And the ones that are going to laugh at you and make fun of you are the ones that are sitting at home doing nothing. And when you finally hit the jackpot and you make it, they're going to call you and they're going to say, I need some advice on how to start a business. I need some advice on how to do that. But you just doubted me and said that I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, just you can't really worry about other people, their judgment, how they're going to think of you, if they're going to laugh at you. Because trust me, once you hit it, oh, they're going to be calling.
Right, right. So I don't see any more questions, but I want to thank you. I do believe that it's greater coming from you because you have a humble heart. You have a humble spirit about yourself. I just sense that about you. You have a humble spirit. I know this is just the beginning. Look what you've accomplished within 5 years. So just imagine 5 more years where God is going to take you and your family, you and your business to new levels, to new heights, to things that you haven't even think or imagined. So I just speak that for you and your family, your organization, your
Thank
brand.
you.
You guys visit her website. She has free shipping because I'm about to get me some more conditioner. So y'all,
Yeah.
MielleOrganics.com. I truly appreciate you speaking with me. I'm going to sign up for all your stuff. I'm gonna be on your live. We will be jamming and all
Yes.
that other stuff
Well,
because I
let me
love
answer
it.
this one more question I see on
Okay.
here. See, I know these questions be getting me. That's how I always stay on. But I do want to answer this. It says, how did you come up with the names? And this is from, I can't see the name. It's
HRH.
HRH Lorna. So the Mielle is actually a combination of my daughter's names. Their name is Mia and Mackenzie. Their middle name is Gabrielle and Ariel. So I have Mia Gabrielle and then Mackenzie Ariel, and they're both mines. They're my L's.
I
That's where
like
my
that.
L came from.
Somebody asked where your husband and where's Melvin?
He
So
probably just walked. He's here somewhere.
somebody asked where's Melvin. I'm not going to hold you long. I know you're busy, but I truly appreciate you coming on again to speak on Daughters to Destiny.
No
Um,
problem.
Something I will never forget. Thank you for this amazing opportunity. I just can't stop saying thank you. Thank you for this amazing
No problem.
opportunity.
Absolutely. And I know you had been DMing me because we had a mix up with the time, but sometimes I get a little behind on my DMs, so just always email, Alex, what you did. So I'm glad you did because I probably wouldn't. I saw it like late last night, so I'm glad you did that because I don't want you to be panicking. But it was no problem. I congratulate you on everything that you're doing. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in October, girl.
Yes. All right. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye bye.